More than 1,000 Starbucks employees are on strike this morning. Workers say they're pushing for higher pay and to eliminate what they call unfair labor practices. The union also says baristas from 40 cities across the country are prepared to make this the, quote, largest, longest strike in company history. Now Starbucks is insisting it treats its baristas well and that the strike only represents a small percentage of the company's workers. ABC's Andrew Dimber has the details for us. Hi, Andrew. So the union says Starbucks refused to offer new staffing and pay proposals. So where do negotiations stand now?
Well, Diane, they're calling this the Red Cup Rebellion. As you mentioned there, over 1,000 unionized Starbucks baristas walking off the job in part because they want a new collective bargaining agreement. But they also accuse the company of failing to negotiate in good faith. They also accuse Starbucks of trying to union bust and say that there are around 700 or so unresolved labor violations. So they're on strike because they want a new collective bargaining agreement, but they also have demands for what they want included in this new contract, which includes better hours and staffing, higher pay, as well as a resolution to some of those labor violations. Now, ABC News has reached out to Starbucks for comment. A spokesperson got back to us and essentially downplayed the strike and faults the union for failing to bargain with the company. And meanwhile, these demonstrators say that they are prepared to make this the longest and largest strike in company history, saying simply, no contract, no coffee. Diane.
It's so funny because just earlier this year, I remember when they were doing layoffs because all of the Starbucks workers were worried about not being placed at a different location because they were downsizing because of all of the additional costs that the company had been incurring, and they weren't increasing in sales. And so one of the places that had laid off or let go the majority of its workers, because it was like a weekend where they just like closed a whole lot of stores all across the United States of America. Most of them was over in California. And then there was also a lot of them that was closed in Canada. And I'm not sure if there was any that was closed in Mexico, but it was just like a North American layoff. And all of these same workers were sitting there complaining about the fact that, oh my God, I have been working here for all of this time and I love my job and I can't believe that the company wasn't as profitable in these stores as they should have been. And they closed them all over a weekend. Now, same thing has been happening because they did this all before and they said that they was going to start the protests and all of this stuff. But the same thing is happening again. And now you have them protesting Starbucks saying that, oh, we want even higher wages than you guys are already paying. And we want better working conditions and all of this. I think that you should just go and look for another job that's better for you because this is not supposed to be for a career. I could be wrong, but I think that people that complain about what's going on at their jobs, because honestly, I'm going to just tell you, personally, I believe that unions are dead. I think that most unions, I worked in one, I was at Local 600 down there in Dearborn that also represented Ford and the steel company. And I remember that the union spent more time actually defending and fighting for people that wasn't supposed to be there and people that had got fired. They spent more time on the foolishness and resources than they did actually doing things that was in the best interest of the company and the worker alike. My experience of witnessing how unions operate are horrible. And these are not the unions that then got worker days off and all of that stuff and unionized and created an environment that was better bargaining power because the workers were truly just being trampled over and all of that stuff. The unions today is different. And now you got the food service worker unions and Starbucks union and stuff, and they talking about working out. This right now is the time that you don't want to go out on strike. You know what I'm saying? Like with all of the downsizing, and I know you guys, I believe y'all got a new CEO that came over from Chipotle and stuff. This is not the time. People are trying to hold on to their jobs. There's been a lot of layoffs. It's been a lot of situations where people haven't gotten the resources that they felt like they needed and stuff. And y'all out here running around talking about that y'all about to run off on the company and unionize, or y'all already unionized and y'all about to illustrate a strike. This is the bad time, in my opinion, when a whole lot of people was looking for them jobs. I would just let them all go and just replace them.
Happening today, Starbucks workers across the country are saying no contract, no coffee. The union announcing strikes at stores in at least 45 cities. That includes New York, Chicago, Seattle, Los Angeles, Atlanta, and Portland. And they're doing it also on a big day, Red Cup Day. That's one of Starbucks' busiest and biggest sales events of the year when customers line up for that free holiday cup. Let's go to News Nation's Xavier Walton following the walkouts. Xavier, what's the plan and how big could this get?
Alex, it could get really, really big nationwide, but only time is going to tell. I mean, you got to think about it. Don't mess with somebody's coffee, and that's what these baristas are really banking on. The union says, the strike isn't about shutting down Starbucks or anything like that. It's really about, disrupting on a day where you have Red Cups, which is an iconic day for a lot of people who just simply love their Starbucks. It's the official start to the holiday season. And for these union workers, Red Cup Day, it's strategic. The Holiday Cup giveaway is a cash cow for Starbucks, with dozens of cities set to see this steamy strike. Starbucks notes most stores aren't unionized. The vast majority will stay open, but both sides agree hundreds of locations could certainly feel the impact. The union's calling the strike open-ended, saying it could go beyond today if contract talks do not move. On X, the union writing Starbucks knows where our union stands. They know our demands. They need to finalize this contract and stop union busting before the holiday season begins. Otherwise, we'll be ready.
The company is stonewalling and not coming to the bargaining table and giving us any decent proposals. I don't regret unionizing at all. It's been better for our store that we've been unionized.
So dumb. They literally need to just go and get a different job. And of course, they were going to put up there some apologist liberal that was going to sit there and say, oh my God, I want to unionize. Bro, stop, man. Just stop.
So a union spokesperson says, if they continue this, if they keep this up, Starbucks, their business could come to a grinding halt. Alex.
Yeah, that would be a big deal on Red Cup Day. Xavier, what exactly are those workers asking for?
Alex, anytime there's a strike, workers, laborers, they always want more money, right? Better benefits, and same can be said here. That's exactly what these union workers here at Starbucks are asking for. More money, obviously, better wages. Starbucks says, though, it already offers robust benefits. It points out that the union represents a sliver of its U.S. workforce, less than 3% roughly. Today, we're going to be watching for which cities see the biggest turnout, whether non-union stores feel staffing pressure, and if management re-enters serious bargaining. Bottom line, customers, definitely check your local stores. You may see longer lines, and that mobile order may be delayed too. Again, though, we're going to have to watch and kind of wait and see. I was in this store. I filled up my coffee a second time, and they're still going usual with the holiday spirit and everything.
Yeah.
But the store down the street may not be the same.
Exactly. Not every single store unionized, as you point.
Listen, again, I'm going to say it again for a final time. Now is not the time for people to start acting stupid. I would be trying to preserve my job instead of giving the company incentive to automate it and try to remove jobs, because usually that's what happens. Whenever even if they do give you higher wages, they start being a lot more aggressive and needing less workers, and they take a closer eye and a scalpel to figure out where they can trim off the fat or the people that are not as effective, and then the workers suffer as a result of it. I think that these workers need to spend more time, embracing whatever benefits they have to send you to some college or community college, and stop trying to mess up the profits for the company, because then you become an enemy of the company. Let me know what you guys think inside of the comments. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. T. Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. Of course, I'm going to keep you guys in the loop.